Hi guys, it's Prince Kenneth Miguel and welcome to my vlog.
Hold up.
So for today's video guys, I will just share something about how did COVID-19 pandemic change our lives, and without further ado, let's get started. Before we start guys, let me first define what is COVID-19 pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic, also known as the coronavirus pandemic, is an ongoing pandemic of coronavirus disease 2019 caused by severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2. The disease was first identified in December 2019 in Wuhan, China. The outbreak was declared a public health emergency of international concern in January 2020 and a pandemic in March 2020. As of 17 of October 2020, more than 39.2 million cases have been confirmed, with more than 1.1 million deaths attributed to COVID-19.
One eternity later.
The COVID-19 pandemic in the Philippines is part of the worldwide pandemic of coronavirus disease 2019. The first case in the Philippines was identified on January 30, 2020 and involved a 38-year-old Chinese woman who was confined at San Lazaro Hospital in Metro Manila. On February 1, a posthumous test result from a 44-year-old Chinese man turned out positive for the virus, making the Philippines the first country outside China to record a confirmed death from the disease.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
And now, let us know what are the things that has changed during this COVID-19 pandemic. Let us start with curfews and quarantines. There are curfews, quarantines, and similar restrictions in place in many countries and territories around the world related to the COVID-19 pandemic. And the next one is wearing a mask. Wearing a mask is now mandatory when stepping out. Earlier, we would associate masks with doctors, but now they are the new normal. Although it may have felt a little odd at first, everyone's got used to it now. With the increase in demand, the price of masks shot up. From DIY masks for daily wear to fancy masks for wedding, we've seen it all. It's like our accessories have now been replaced by masks. And the next one is washing hands. The best thing that has come out of this entire situation of COVID-19 is an improvement in personal hygiene. All those who never like washing their hands or who believe their hands were always clean now have to wash it multiple times in a day. Sanitizer went out of stock because of the sudden increase in demand. The next one is shopping. Shopping earlier would be fun as you pick your favorites from the store. You would shop for clothes, shoes, groceries, and more. Well now, shopping is mainly done only for essentials and groceries. And the next one is food and beverages. From grabbing a coffee while on your way to work and dining out, we've now turned our home into a restaurant and cafe. From dalgona coffee to pizza, pasta, cakes, ice creams, and other dishes, everyone has begun experimenting with food. We are the chef, the servers, and the customers as well. Because of cooking at home, people have begun saving money that would be spent on regular dine-outs. The next one is crowd. Remember going anywhere and having a huge crowd around you? The streets were always busy. Any space was always filled with people. During peak hours especially, walking on crowded sidewalks was always a problem. Well now, that has completely changed. The busiest streets look the emptiest during the COVID-19 lockdown. Most people are indoors only. So whenever you step out now, the roads are usually empty. And the next one is meeting friends. Corona or no corona, you will always spend time with your friends. The way you meet them has definitely changed though. From chilling with your friends at cafes and restaurants, we now meet them through video calls. From watching movies at the theaters to watching together using Netflix Party. The way we meet our friends might have changed, but the fun is still the same. The next one is weekend. Now, everyone's weekends have a new task to do. Yes, household chores. People's skills in sweeping, dusting, cleaning, and doing the dishes have improved a lot because of the coronavirus. The next one is a huge reduction in overseas business travel. Often big shifts happen when many factors combine. Long distance business travel was already challenged by high costs. The desire of organization to show action on climate emissions and the steadily improving quality of video conferencing. The next one is riding public transportation. The pandemic has put public transit systems in the unenviable position of urging people not to use them unless absolutely necessary. Coming back from that will be difficult and will involve changes in how transit agencies operate, especially when it comes to convincing people to return to the close quarters of buses and subway cars. The next one is working from home. The pandemic has resulted in what is effectively the largest work from home experiment ever conducted in human history. We are seeing the effect on the internet in terms of traffic patterns that are shifting. People are accessing more educational resources online for their kids, finding unconventional ways to connect with coworkers, friends, and family. And employers are being more flexible in how they respond to employee needs through more dynamic cloud-based technology. And the last is education goes virtual. The change we are seeing right now in education is not something that is likely to revert back to normal in the fall. Although teachers will always be integral to the education process, there will need to be continued flexibility and agility when it comes to the things like the delivery of content, testing, and grading. I expect that we will see an increase in blended learning environments that includes learning in both the physical classroom setting and online.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Before I end this video guys, I just want to say that it might be stormy now but rain doesn't last forever. And stop being afraid of what can go wrong and start being positive about what can go right. And that's all for today guys. Thank you for watching and I hope you've learned something new and have a great day. Bye!